Hi everyone, Cherie here. Today I'm going to be creating a scrapbook page from a sketch that I've designed for the International Scrapbook Day Sketch Challenge over on the Felicity Jane Facebook page. So go and check that out if you'd like to join in this challenge. This is a sketch I'm working from. I've got some pattern papers across the top there, some florals peeking out from underneath that, and then we have these three sections here which can be either for photos or journaling or both. I've chosen to go with 2 photos and journaling in this third section, and then there's the title and subtitle down that bottom corner there. So I do already have papers chosen for this spread. Most of them are from the Grace Kit, but I do have this piece which is from the Sarah Kit as well. These florals that I've got here ready to go are all from the Brie digital kit, and the great thing about using a digital kit is that you can resize elements and print out as many as you like, so that was really handy when it came for this challenge. Some of the images I've flipped so that, like for example, this one here has the leaves on either side, just so that they're not all the same, and I've done different sizes for most of those things as well. I've got 2 photos here ready to go. These are roughly 2 by 2 inches each, and my journaling has already been printed out onto some vellum ready to go as well. I'm thinking for these 3 sections I'm going to make these into tags, so I've used the Shea Tag Builder metal die set, and I've already cut out those little hole reinforcer pieces ready to use on the tags. My title today, I'm using this piece. It's from the Megan kit, the word smile, and I do have other bits and pieces here. I've got mini wide paper clips, I've got that puffy butterfly sticker, some labels there as well. So I think I'm ready to get started. I'll pop you on fast forward and show you how I'm going to put this one together. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to layer these 2 strips together. These are the pieces that are going across the top of the page. I'm just using double-sided tape. There is a little bit to trim off, a little bit of excess on the side there. And I am going to stick this down just so that it's in position, and I'll be able to then use that to organize and arrange all of these flowers across the top there. So I do want them all tucked underneath those strips. Okay, so you can see that is done. I have used some foam dots behind some of the flowers for a little bit of dimension. I'm just now moving on to creating the tags to go on the main section of the page. So I've used a punch just to cut them into the tag shape. You can see that there. Alright, and now I'm going to use my sewing machine to stitch around those. After I started stitching on that, I realized that I wanted to catch the hole reinforcer pieces with my sewing machine as well. So I've just stopped doing that, added the reinforcer pieces, and then finished stitching around the tags. So that is now done. I can go ahead and add my twine to the top of each of these tags. And I want this twine to be going up to the top of the page, so I will have to pull up the gingham piece so that I can tuck the twine underneath. I'm just not quite at that stage yet. I'm going to stick these tags down into place, so I'm using my ruler to make sure that I get them evenly spaced, and also to make sure that that middle tag was centered on the page as well. I'm adding my vellum journaling to that 3rd tag using some vellum tape. I love this tape. I've had it for years in my stash. I have no idea where I got it from, but it works so perfectly. I'm just using my sewing machine now to add a little bit of stitching across the top and bottom of that journaling. You can see that there. And then I'll be able to add that to the page. I'm adding my photos to those other 2 tags. That middle one going on there. I'm just going to add a little mini wide paper clip to the side of that. And for this first tag, I'm going to add one of those labels just folded over. I'm tucking it underneath the edge of the photo there, and I'm going to staple that into place. So just making sure that's positioned correctly before I add that staple. I did need to pull that tag up, so I will have to stick that back down in the right spot. But I really wanted to get that staple on there. Okay, so I've also got that puffy butterfly sticker, And I'm also going to add this little chipboard piece that's from the Grace chipboard bits, and that's just being stuck onto the edge of that label. Okay, so I need to go ahead and stick these tags into position. I'm going to decorate that third tag just with that little heart die cut. I am adding a foam dot under that. I'm just not going to stick it on just yet because I need to make sure these tags are stuck down correctly. Just measuring to make sure that I've got them evenly spaced. Okay, so I'm sticking down that third tag now. All right. Double checking, making sure they are in the correct spots before I move on. Alright, so this is where I'm going to add my twine going up the top of the page. So I'm tucking them in under the flowers, and when I had the twine under there I realized that it's going to create a raised section on that paper where the twine is reaching up underneath it. So I'm actually going to use foam tape to reposition that gingham piece, but first I'm just making sure all of my twine is secured. I'm just using staples at the top there just to keep all of the twine in place, and you'll see now this is where I'm going to add some stitching to my gingham piece before I add it back to the top of the page. And I've also added a stitched border around the white cardstock as well. So there's my foam tape going on there. This is going to add another bit of interesting dimension to the top of the page there. So I'm going to stick that down, making sure I get it nice and straight. Okay. Alright, so that is now done. Just giving you a little look at the dimension there at the top. Alright, so I can go ahead and add that little heart die cut to the side, and now I'm looking at my title. So I've got that label that I want to add onto the bottom of the page. That label was cut from the labels paper from the Grace Kit. Okay, so I do want to add a stamped sentiment, and this is from the Gina stamp set. So it says just happy. I'm going to do that on a piece of white cardstock. I'm just searching around for that and my ink pad. So I'm going to just stamp that directly onto that white cardstock, and then I'll be able to cut that out and add it to that label. So just a quick trim there. Bit of double-sided tape on the back of that, and that can go onto that label. I've just got it hanging a little bit off the edge as well. So I'm using more of that vellum tape to add my vellum title onto the page. Getting lots of that on there. It's just really to hold it in place because I am going to add stitching across the middle of that word to really make sure it's secure on the page. So sticking that down, it's slightly overlapping that third tag, and it is also overlapping that label as well. So here is where I'm adding stitching to both the label and to the title, and that is done. I just need to add the date right at the bottom, which I've done with the Felicity Jane roller date stamp. So here you can have a closer look at all the details. You can see all the stitching and all those stickers, the stitching across the title there as well. And that is complete. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing how I put this one together today. Let me know if you've got any questions. Just pop it down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'll leave a link to the Felicity Jane Facebook page as well if you'd like to join in our challenges this weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for joining me today. Bye for now.